that I've actually earned.
Oh, hey, Time.
Oh, hello.
Hey, how's the shop been doing? Are you feeling okay? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Can I smell your head? Just a quick little smell, okay?
Don't hurt me. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Block Breaking Season 2. It is getting to be that time of year now. October has started. The autumn is setting in. It is pumpkin pie time. And it's also time for a Halloween district. That's right, we have started a Halloween district here on the server, and I have a perfect idea for something that I want to build in it, and I think I'm going to get started on that today. Okay, so let me get geared up here, and I will show you our Halloween district. Alright, and here we are, and it is, boy, this is the perfect mood for a Halloween district, huh? It's dark and it's raining. Let me go sleep first before the skeletons and zombies come out and kill me. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so this is the start of the Halloween district. Right now it doesn't look like much because we literally just got started. This is our portal, but eventually the portal is going to be up there, and I believe this structure is going to end up being like a tall, thin mountain with like a staircase going around it that some of the other block breakers are designing. So hopefully pretty soon that portal will be up there, and this will be a cool looking structure. One of the first addition, and of course one of the coolest additions to the Halloween district, is the amazing frogtopus. It is an 8-legged frog, or an 8-frogged frog, or 8 frog legs. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's cool. So let me pop into my free cam here. This is a swamp biome that we completely cleared of trees. And we thought this would be a perfect setting for a Halloween district. And I'm guessing starting this week, some folks should be out here and start building some things. So over the next few weeks, keep your eye out for people's videos and see what kind of cool things they build out here. And I have the perfect idea for something to build out here, and that is the hedge maze from the movie The Shining. I think that would be a pretty cool thing to build. I've always wanted to build that ever since I started playing Minecraft, and I never did. And this, I think, is a perfect opportunity to do that. So the spot that I picked to build that is out here. It's going to be right about here where I'm standing is going to be the entrance of it, and it's going to go about 40 blocks out in each direction to the side, and then 116 blocks forward. Like, this thing is going to be big. It's going to come all the way up. I'm going to have to do some terraforming here because it covers up where these little hills are jutting up here. So I started building the rough shape in Creative, and I used the Litematica mod to make a schematic of the layout so that I can, build the structure here a little bit easier, but also so I could see the size and the layout and decide where a good place would be. And now let me turn on, here we go. I don't want to give away what the entire maze will look like, so this is just rendering the floor. And you can see here, let me pop back into free cam, just how big this is going to be. Yeah, so this right here will be the entrance of the maze. You can see the gravel and stone and stuff is the pathways, and everywhere here in the schematic where you see dirt, that's where the walls of the maze will be. And let's see, so it's going to stretch all the way out through this piece of this hill. So I'm going to have to do a bunch of terraforming here. I'm going to have to knock down these hills. I'm going to have to kind of grade this so it looks nice. But another thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cover up a lot of this water. So you can see just by the sheer size of this, I have a lot of work cut out for me. So this is probably going to take me 2 episodes to build. But I was thinking about the hedge walls, right? And my first thought, of course, would be to use leaves. So if I use, like, say, for example, oak leaves here in the swamp, they kind of have this nice dingy look, but they're see-through, right? You can see right through them. And it just doesn't give that same kind of claustrophobic feel that you have from the movie, that kind of spooky, it's closing in on you feel. Because you can see right through them. So I thought that maybe using mangrove leaves would be a little bit nicer, because those leaves are a little bit, they're kind of the texture on them, they're a little bit larger, flatter leaves. and they might not be as see-through. But even that, it still isn't quite the feeling, isn't quite the look that I was going for. So let me knock those down. So what I decided on was moss. I think this is going to be perfect. So when you have this built up and you're walking through it, this is going to look really good. So let me throw up a picture of that maze real quick again. And you can see here that like the walls of the maze are pretty solid. I mean, you know, you can't see through them at all. And I wanted to get that same feel. So I'm thinking that like with these walls as moss, that's going to be exactly what I want. And I'm also going to make them like 5 high. So these walls are going to be, oh, pretty big, pretty tall. All right, so let me go up here. I'm just going to kind of show you the size and scale of this. Okay, whoop, whoop. There we go. So when you're walking through the maze, you're going to have a 2-block wide passageway, and this is what the walls are going to be like. Like this really gives you that feeling that I think is appropriate for this build. And I didn't want the walls to be 1 thick. I wanted them to be 2 thick because I really want this to feel large and intimidating. So all the walls are going to be 2 thick, 2 blocks thick, and 5 blocks tall. So when you look at this area and you kind of see those dirt, and remember that the dirt is where the walls are going to be. I did some quick math on this, and this is over 12 shulkers full of moss blocks. Yeah, this is like almost 21,000 blocks of moss that I need to gather and then place for these walls. And that doesn't count the floor or anything else. That's just the walls of the maze. So before I start terraforming, the first thing I need to do is build myself a moss farm so that I can crank out a ton of moss and have that ready by the time I am ready to start building these walls. Okay, wow, yeah, these pumpkin pies, they are not a very good food source. I was thinking that I was going to eat these all through the month of October, but I am already tired of these pumpkin pies. So I think I have a better idea. So first, let me stop by Tinser's shop here. And let's see, 32 blocks for a diamond. Okay. And a quick stop over here by my tree farms. And doop, 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 doop. And boom. There we go. Candy apples. So much more satisfying than those pumpkin pies. And now that I'm out here in my farming area, I can build my moss farm out here. I'll have to find a good spot for it. So let me go gather the materials that I need to build this farm real quick. And then, what the heck? What is on my head? I have like some kind of swollen mark on my head. When did that happen? You know, I've had a bit of a headache since earlier whenever I stopped by the wood shop to check on supplies. Wonder if something happened when I was over there. Weird. Alright, so I gathered all the materials I need for the moss farm, and actually Skolanda gave me a great idea. She said out here in the Halloween district, I should build the moss machine here. That way, A, it'll make moss while I am terraforming for my maze build, but also anybody else who wants moss can use it. And so I'm going to build it here on this little island, and then she's going to build this cool looking like moss monster head around it. All right, so let me go ahead and get this build going. And I'm back. So this is the build. I decided not to time-lapse this for a couple reasons. One, some folks came by and we were doing some terraforming out here in the Halloween district. And so I got distracted a few times while building it. And so I didn't really do the time-lapse. But this thing works great. This is a good design. I found it on YouTube, and I will link to this in the description. It is, let's see, let me turn it on. It's going to be a little bit noisy with the blocks here. but it basically, some of the moss that it creates is diverted down here to refill itself with bone meal, so it just kind of keeps itself full. It does put a little bit of extra bone meal into this chest, so it does actually produce a little bit of extra. And it's produced enough moss already that I have almost three shulker boxes full of moss blocks, plus other moss materials down here. Yeah, so this build is going to just sit here and crank out moss while I'm doing all my terraforming and stuff and getting ready to build this hedge maze. And yeah, I need to fill up about 21 shulkers worth of moss blocks, so I still have quite a ways to go. And no doubt this little machine here will be able to handle it. And as far as the terraforming, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started now. So here we go. Let's start changing this landscape. Alright, well I think all the major terraforming is done now. I've got the water covered up and I've got the hills chopped down. And so now I just need to go start working on the floor. And for that I need a ton of material. So while I was terraforming, my moss machine over here generated, let's see, about 10 and a half shulkers worth of moss. And I need a little more than 12 shulkers. So no doubt when I come back and start laying down the floor, this thing can crank out the last shulker of moss that I need, and that will be for the walls. So let me go ahead and start gathering resources and get this floor started. Oof. Okay, so I just got back gathering materials that I need to make the floor of this maze, and I had a little bit of help from Captain Kai there. Say hi, Kai. Okay, I think he's out to lunch. All right, so let me go ahead and get the floor of this build going. Okay, well, I'm done putting the floor in for the maze. It's over there. And I completely forgot to hit record on Replay Mod, so I do not have a time lapse for that. I apologize. So I'm standing here on top of the mountain that Kai has been building. He's been building this while I was over there, and it's coming along really nice. Still got a little bit more to go because I think that's going to be where the top is. So let me just fly over real quick and show you what the floor looks like. The floor, I used a mixture of mossy cobble, gravel, and a lot of it is mossy cobble and gravel, and then it's interspersed with some mossy stone bricks, some andesite, and some cracked stone bricks. And I think that kind of gave a nice, so this is like the walking path. Now, the hedge maze in the movie, the walking path was all just like gravel, and then like some grass growing up along the sides. But I thought just plain gravel would look not very nice for a Minecraft build, so I went ahead and mixed it up a little bit. And now all of this that's, well, most of it's turned into grass by now. Some of it's still dirt. But all of this dirt and grassy dirt here is going to be covered up with the moss walls. Probably except for this outside edge. This outside edge is the actual edge. And then I have to landscape out beyond that. So let me give you one more quick little aerial view of this. And I missed the landing. Let's see. So there we go. So that's the design of the hedge maze. And yeah, so that's what the floor looks like. So now I just have to place the 21,000 blocks of moss, which will be the walls. And while I was finishing up the floor, my moss machine over here cranked out more moss, and I went ahead and got all the rest of the moss that I need. So this right here is the 12 shulkers, and I have some extras over here. We've got all the bushes that it made. We got tons and tons of carpet, and here's even more moss blocks that in case I need them. All right, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and put up the walls. I'm not going to try to time lapse this. This is going to be a chore. This is 21,000 blocks, so every wall is going to be 5 high, and this is probably going to take me hours, and it might even take me hours interspersed over a day or two. So I'm not going to bother trying to time lapse this. I think I'm just going to snap my fingers and make it be there, or something like that. Let me try this. Maybe I can do like a twirl or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, well, I have finished the hedge maze. Well, at least I finished the structure of it. I got the floors done. I've got the walls done. And I'm still... Oh, man. Oh, I'm not feeling so good. Oh, I'm getting a little lightheaded here. Anyway, I think next episode I'm going to deal with the terrain around it and spicing this thing up and doing some decor. And, oh... I'll see you next episode. Thanks for coming. Bye. Break.